Everybody knows how strong legendary Pokemon are, so that's why I decided to spend 100 days using only legendary Pokemon, so that I could become the strongest Pokemon trainer on Cobblemon Islands. But in order to prove myself, I would need to complete these 3 goals. First, we need to get a full team of legendary Pokemon and get them all to level 100. And then use that team to take down the server owner on day 100. Will I be able to complete these goals and become the ultimate legendary trainer on Cobblemon Islands? Watch till the end to find out. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, since I'm going to give away a free Minecraft account to one of my subscribers in the spirit of Christmas. Without further ado, let's start our adventure. Now, you can't choose legendary Pokemon as starter Pokemon. However, the server owner was kind enough to offer me a chance to spin this wheel full of every single legendary Pokemon to decide what my starter would be, which ended up being Groudon. Now, before entering the Sun Realm, I talked to my friends who turned into NPCs and as a result earned some EXP candy. Since I was only gonna have Groudon for a while, I used it all to level him up to level 59. I knew how rough the night could be, with mobs spawning at night, so I wanted to prepare myself fast by gathering materials for a base. I was then stopped by the server owner who gave me one more gift, which was a plushie set of me that I thought looked super cool. Anyways, once I found a nice plot of land, I started building my house while also fending off against the mobs of the night. Not gonna lie, it doesn't look the best, but we always have time to change and expand. But for now, I wanted to mine underground and get myself some armor for when I wanted to go into the Nether. Luckily, I found so many diamonds really fast and was actually able to get full diamond armor already. So I thought, why not just go and mine for some obsidian and make myself a nether portal. Initially, I only wanted to go in and scan the area, but I ended up stumbling upon a custom structure. I wasn't too familiar with this area, but what really threw me for a loop was when this blaze started shooting fireworks at me. Not only was there custom structures, but custom mobs too. I ran around looting as much as I could without dying, and then ran away back to my base to store all of my valuables. Now that I've done some exploring, it was time to hunt for legendary Pokemon, and I was told fishing would be the easiest since I could fish for legendaries such as Walking Wake or even Suicune. But not gonna lie, fishing was kinda boring, so after a while I ended up sleeping for that night, and when I woke up the next day, something unexpected happened. The house I had built was taken from me by some random player, but for some reason I could still interact with everything and even saw that my items were still in the chest. This made me pretty upset, and I was now stuck with a moral dilemma. At first, I was just gonna leave the house alone and just let them take over it, but then I realized I spent like 3 Minecraft days gathering the materials and building it, and that was enough for me to deconstruct every single block I had placed, leaving only the bare minimum, which to be fair, did not belong to me. I then ran as far as I could in search of a new fishing area, and built myself a large fishing dock, and continued fishing for legendaries in this new place. But also, I remembered there was a kit at spawn that I could claim, which would give me tons of items, including a Master Ball. This would mean that I could catch whatever legendary Pokemon I fish up without any problems. Well, except for the fact that I was just not fishing up any legendaries at all. I even tried to fish at this public area for better luck, but it was just no use. As I was slowly losing hope, suddenly the screen flashed with text. The legendary Pokemon Tinglu had actually spawned on me. What I didn't know was that this was extremely lucky, as outside of fishing, legendaries only spawn once every 5 hours. I wasted no time and threw my Master Ball at it, and now had a team of 2 legendary Pokemon. Overfilled with joy, I built myself another base to store my items in, and then travel back to spawn where I would open up both Vote crates and Poke crates, luckily scoring myself another Master Ball. I was also greeted by a server manager who ended up giving me this key which belonged to the new crate available on the server. for a legendary trainer like me, I really needed this Lugia chair, which doubled as a wearable hand. While still at spawn, I found this end portal, and as soon as I jumped in, I was transported into a custom end biome. I walked around for a while, but the end biome was just a bit too broken up to really travel in, so I decided to just warp into the nether. And as you can see in the chat, I typed a command that would show me the spawn time of the last legendary Pokemon. This is important as a legendary Pokemon only spawns once every 5 hours, and in this case, the next legendary was spawning in 40 minutes. So I just had to get lucky and hope it would spawn on me. Since the nether was a dangerous place, I needed to build myself a temporary shelter as I wait for the time to pass. Unfortunately, the legendary did not spawn on me, so I went back into the end dimension, and you might be wondering why. Well, even though it takes 5 hours for legendary Pokemon to spawn, it is different in each dimension, as when I checked in the end, it said it would only spawn in a few minutes. So I stayed in the end in hopes it would spawn on me, but what happened next kind of confused me. I was unexpectedly kicked out of the game at the exact moment the legendary spawned. This really frustrated me, as I waited an entire hour just to be disconnected at the most important moment. So I took my frustrations out by dropping my character in the void multiple times, until I sadly made my way back to the fishing dock to continue fishing for Walking Wake. And fishing I did, but as more time passed, I really got bored. Because let's be real, who really likes fishing? So I hesitantly returned into the end dimension for a chance at redemption. The next legendary Pokemon would spawn soon, and I was not gonna waste that opportunity. Now, sadly, the recording kinda got corrupted, but you really didn't miss much. I was unlucky, the legendary did not spawn on me, you know, the usual. But I decided to continue hunting in the overworld, and this would be harder as more people were in this dimension, meaning the odds were stacked against me. But trust me when I say that subscribing to me increases my legendary luck and might even increase yours. Okay, enough with the self-promo, but hey, would you look at that? The legendary Zekrom actually spawned on me, so you know, who knows, maybe subscribing does work? But anyways, I ended up using my last Master Ball on it as I did not want to risk losing the encounter, and now I had 3 legendary Pokemon. Also, when I returned to spawn, there was this advent calendar thing for Christmas. Luckily for me, my reward today was a free Master Ball. I didn't really do much this day, but I did take a deeper look into the models for each legendary I've caught so far. But hey, I could not look at them forever, as there were still more legendaries to be caught. So I continued fishing in hopes of finally getting Walking Wake. But my luck was at an all-time low, and if I fished anymore, I would be in shambles. However, what I did not know was that all of this fishing actually helped me earn a lot of money, as every time you kill a Pokemon, you get a few coins, and every time I fished up a Pokemon, I would always kill it for a few extra coins. I quickly checked the GTS and realized I wasn't far off from being able to buy this Articuno, but there was only one issue. It would be off the GTS in just 28 minutes. That means I had to find a way to make money fast. And my idea was to take part in a Poke Hunt, where you hunt for a specific Pokemon, and in my case, I had to catch Sneasel in a Verdant Pokeball. That would be pretty easy, except I've never seen a Sneasel in Cobblemon before, so I decided to try a harder tier, and oh my god, I had to catch a Tatsugiri in a Park Ball. That is the equivalent of a Master Ball, and yeah, that was just not gonna happen. So I tried looking for Sneasel, but alas, the timer ended and Articuno wasn't in the GTS anymore. All I could really do at this moment was shamefully walk back to the fishing dock and continue fishing. Finally, after beating up tons of water-type Pokemon, I had enough money to actually buy a legendary Pokemon off the GTS. Although the Articuno was listed again, I decided to choose the Thundurus, which was worth around the same amount. The model for Thundurus looked amazing, and I was just very happy to earn another legendary Pokemon. But Thundurus would be more useful than I would have expected, because I'm actually able to fly using Thundurus, making traveling super easy. So what better than to travel to a dimension where legendary Pokemon would spawn in and start flying around in hopes that it would spawn on me. Sadly, the Heatran that spawned wasn't in my biome, but I did not give up. Thundurus allowed me to easily navigate through the rough terrains of the Nether, and although I missed another Nether spawn, the end was a game changer, as I was able to fly my way through the end dimension, avoiding all of the dangers and even finding an end city which was already looted. But out of nowhere, text filled the screen once again as Deoxys spawned right next to me. I was extremely excited to catch Deoxys, as this would be my 5th legendary Pokemon. So to celebrate how far we've come, I used up all the leftover EXP candy I earned from claiming the kits before and spent it on the entire team, first getting my starter Groudon to level 100 and then continuing till every single legendary was level 100 now. With a lot of time left and not really needing to worry about the last legendary, I decided to remake my house since it looked really bad. So I took the time to find a new area and started remaking my house, and honestly, huge shoutouts to my girlfriend for sitting in call with me, basically coaching me through the entire building process. I was able to turn this square shack into an actually good looking Minecraft house, and now there was only one thing left to do. I returned back to the fishing dock once again, but this time I threw my rod to the ground in retaliation. I was just done with fishing, okay? It sucks, I hate it, and thanks to Thundurus, I can just travel around very easily. I started by walking around in the Nether, as I saw that a legendary would spawn here soon. However, you know my luck, a Groudon spawned and it wasn't even on me. So that didn't matter anyways, it would have been a duplicate legendary, but in hopes of getting a unique legendary, I wandered around the end, finding even more empty end cities. But as I was walking around, suddenly, the last legendary Pokemon I needed spawned, and it was Palkia. What sets this aside from all the legendaries I've caught is that I did not have a Master Ball for this encounter. This was really bad, as I only had a stack of Ultra Balls in my inventory, and there was always the risk of taking too long and having Palkia despawn. So I knew I had to do something different. I switched into Deoxys and used Knockoff, which almost killed Palkia. As my heart sank deeper in my chest, finally the Ultra Ball clicked. I had caught the last legendary Pokemon I needed for my challenge. I had done it. With my happiness at an all-time high, I used up the last of my rare candies, and now I had a team full of level 100 legendary Pokemon. The only thing I needed to do now was beat the server owner on day 100. So I used my newfound freedom to start exploring the world of Cobblemon, even participating in another Poke Hunt for a Stantler caught in a Safari Ball. This shouldn't be too hard, however I already failed my first throw and well, I had no more money to buy more Safari Balls, so it seems my focus shifted to making more money. I listed a few rare candies on the GTS for a fair amount, and realized I could sell certain items to the server store. The gas tier stood out the most as it sold for 1200 coins per piece, so off I went hunting in the Nether. But instead of finding a ghast, I stumbled upon this pipe structure, the same structure I found in just the first few days of my adventure. The loot in here was basically just leftover junk, but I did end up finding the special blaze, which last time it absolutely destroyed me. However, I was fully prepared to take it on this time. We traded a few blows here and there, and eventually, I dealt the final blow. Swiftly moving on, I found a bastion. I tried to route it as best as I could, but honestly, I'm not a speedrunner, so I had no idea where to go. I found a few chests with actual items in it, but still had no idea if this was a truly looted bastion or not. My doubts would be cleared later on, as I found a stacked chest that coincidentally contained multiple Safari Balls. Thankfully, this was just enough to where I could capture Stantler in a Safari Ball, completing my first ever Poke Hunt. Since my first Poke Hunt went well, I decided to go for another, and this time I had to hunt for a male Swinub and catch it in a repeat ball. Finding the right biome took a while, and I even found a pillager tower, which actually had decent loot, before finally finding a Swinub. Sadly, I failed my hunt because apparently you can't buy repeat balls from the shop, so I really had no way to catch this Swinub. With only a few more days left, I thought it would be fun to try shiny hunting for a random Pokemon. So I started off by getting a catch chain on a Mareep, as that was the first Pokemon I saw. However, after only catching 2 of them, I could not find any more after that. So I ended up switching my Pokemon to Lechonk, and got yet another chain of 2 captures, but just like Mareep, I could not find any more after that. This all changed, however, when I found this weird biome that was fortunately filled with Bidoofs. I caught more than 2, and had the chain actually build up, the more Bidoofs I caught in a row, the higher my shiny odds were. Eventually, I built up my shiny odds to 1 in 512, which was seemingly the max amount that I could increase it to. All that was left to do now was to run around aimlessly and just pray that a shiny Bidoof would spawn. But while running around, a subscriber of mine actually found me on the server. Huge shoutouts to Yarny for actually subscribing to the channel. Anyways, I spent too long shiny hunting, and unfortunately, I was out of time. Day 100 was finally here, and it was time to have my final battle against the server owner. Alright, so yeah, day 100. Finally, we're here. And well, there's Diablo Turtle. We have a few spectators. Okay, I cannot mess this up, otherwise it's gonna be embarrassing. My Groudon versus his Regidrago. I'm gonna go for Earthquake here. Ooh, that does a huge chunk of damage. Let's go, I kill his Regidrago. Woo! I'll be honest, I can't really see this battle because of Groudon, so I have to move a bit. Oh, he sends out Great Tusk. Let's hit with Lava Plume. Oh, that almost kills. Oh, it was a critical hit. Let's go. Oh my goodness, Regieleki, this is the fastest Pokemon. Okay, it's an electric type. I might Earthquake this. I don't know. Oh! He sends out Ursaluna. Wait, I have to get a close-up on that. Oh, it looks so cool, bro. Let's actually switch out here. I think that's a ground type. So let's switch out to Palkia over here. And we're actually going to use Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump hits! And it destroys Ursaluna. Let's go! Let's actually send out Zekrom, bro. This is my favorite legendary that we have on our team. Like, bro, this guy looks amazing, okay? We might have to Ancient Power here. Nope, Zekrom dies. So, let's just send out Deoxys here. Okay, Deoxys. Oh, Deoxys lives by 3 HP. Extreme Speed, and I win. Hey, I defeat his Megalo. Oh, wait. Oh. Wait, there was one more. Oh, my goodness. No, Deoxys dies. Cinderace goes down to my Palkia, right? Oh, my God, it used Bounce. It used Bounce. Okay. So Cinderace just used Bounce, so we're going to switch out to Tinglu. It's a 2-turn attack. It bounced onto Tinglu. Well, now I'm paralyzed. Okay, so we'll use Earthquake. And, oh, we just one-shot Cinderace. Oh, okay. Well, we're just faster, and, yeah, I guess, we won. Well, that was 100 days using only legendary Pokemon. It was a journey, and, yeah. Subscribe.